Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about one of the famous novels by E.R. Braithwaite. The name of that novel is To Serve with Love. Now you can see in the right side of this slide the novel To Serve with Love. And in this video we are going to learn more about the narrator itself as well as the summary of the novel, characterization and theme. And in the second part of this same video we are going to learn more about the novel, some detailed aspects of the novel. So let's start with getting more information about Mr. Braithwaite. Mr. Braithwaite is a Guyanese-born British-American novelist, writer, teacher and diplomat. Guyana is a part of West Indies. Britishers ruled over Guyana and Braithwaite was born during this period. So he is British Guyana. His stories reflect social conditions and racism of the time. Here racism means the belief that some races of people are better than others. So some people of such races create superiority and inferiority complex by unfair ways of teaching people. His famous novels are Kind of Homecoming, A Choice of Straws and Reluctant Neighbors. The last two novels are his memoir of or treatise about racism. To Serve with Love is an autobiographical novel which is published in 1959, a novel which is based on the life of Mr. E.R. Braithwaite. Means his novel is based on a true events concerned with Braithwaite's taking up at the teaching post in school, etc. Now let's see the summary of the novel. Here Ricky Braithwaite, it's spelling mistake, it's R-I-C-K-Y, not H. Ricky Braithwaite was an engineer from British Guyana. Ricky is his pet name and he was an engineer from British Guyana and he used to work in oil refinery in Aruba. At the outbreak of Second World War, he joined the RAF, means Royal British Air Force, as a air crew. Then he was unable to find employment being a black. After the war in 1945, he was unable to find any kind of work despite his qualifications and experience, but only he was a black, he couldn't get any perfect job. So he became a teacher, or he accepted as a job of teacher at Greenslade School in London, where he applied for the post of a teacher and was accepted in that school, which was full of troublemaker students, and these students were rejected from other schools because of their misbehavior. Now, there his experience at the school at the beginning when he joined that school was very rough. In short, at the beginning, Ricky or the narrator was ridiculed and bullied by the students. They tried to discourage and demoralize him by disruptive noises. They were unmotivated to learn. They were using foul language. Even girl students didn't spare him to harass. And in a reaction to that, Braithwaite verbally scolded the girls for acting in an unladylike manner. Now you can see in this picture, in the first picture, Mr. Braithwaite was an engineer who used to work in this oil refinery. But being a black, he was rejected after this Second World War. You can see in the first picture he joined RAF, but after the Second World War he had to move to find another job, and he accepted the job as a teacher. You can see here he was going towards the school. Here you can see the first day of Mr. Braithwaite's at school, where these notorious or troublemaker students ridiculed, harassed him. Then his realization about how to handle the students means slowly or gradually he understood that how he could handle these students, so he changed his own behavior and started calling these students as Miss or Sir. He used to refer the words Miss or Sir. He wanted to give them kind of respect. If if he would give respect to him, then automatically he would get respect from him. So this kind of realization he understood after handling these students. You can see in this left picture that how he was behaving with his students. He was using the term sir for the boy students, and for the girls he used miss. Then he also changed his methodology of teaching. He used to take them to the field trips or excursions. He understood that his outburst was not helping him in getting respect and cooperation from students. So he decided to try a new approach, and he used some tactics like just now I told you about these excursions. So he decided to interact with them as if they are adults and a respectable person. That's why you used to call the girls by referring Miss and to the boys student as Sir. At first this approach was rejected, but within a few weeks the class was largely won over. He introduced some out of school activities, including just now I referred those field trips or taking the students to visit the museums or theaters, which the students never experienced before. A young teacher, Gillian Blanchard, assisted him on these trips. But some students frequently disappointed him and hurt him. He started then forgiving them, and in this way he was handling them with a very amiable way. Thus, due to his changed behavior, he succeeded gradually and earned him their respect, his students' respect. At the end, he was surprised by his students' maturity, empathy, and knowledge. Now let's see the characterization of this novel. There are some major characters in this novel, and they are Ricky Braithwaite, the narrator itself, then Gillian, Gillian Blanchard. She is one of the colleagues of Mr. Braithwaite. She is a white female teacher and a friend of Braithwaite. Then one of the other colleagues, Mrs. Dale Evans, and one of the important characters of this novel is Denham, a senior student, or he is one of the representatives of boys students. Similarly, Pamela Dare, she is also a senior girl in the school. Then Mr. Florian, who is a principal of the school. So these are some major characters, and there are few minor characters like Bob, Jacqueline, Clinty, Selma, Hackman, Moira, Palmer, Euphemia, Potter, Jen, Lawrence, Jace, Josie, Patrick, Tick, Monica, Barbara, Sapiano, Theo. So these are some minor characters, and their roles in the story are as students and teachers. Some of them participated in presentation at students council or some work for it. Then some of these characters are some teachers who tried to give responses to the students' questions or defended one another. Thus, these are some characters from this novel. So, let's study the theme of the novel. Narrator talks about the three aspects in this novel, and they are a student teacher relationship, racism, prejudice. The first theme is student teacher relationship. In short, what kind of relation or bond develop between these two? E.R. Braithwaite accepts a job of a teacher in rather notorious school where he finds that the students belong to a background that is not suitable for learning. Then Braithwaite, with his novel and creative ideas, innovative techniques, and understanding the students' psychology, ultimately wins their hearts in no time. So, this is a student teacher relationship, which is one of the themes of this novel. Second theme is racism. We already learned the term racism, and in this novel we can see the racism prevalent in Great Britain during the mid 1948, the time period during which To Serve with Love takes place. And narrator experiences the racism of white Britons, including encounters on the bus at job interviews and Greenslade School when searching for housing, at a restaurant with his girlfriend, and so on. Thus, at every stage, he experienced racial discrimination by the British, and this is reflected in this novel from getting job as a teacher through though he was an engineer till the last scene at restaurant. And the last theme of this novel is prejudice. Braithwaite strikes with unexpectedness of prejudices, such as he was brought up in British Guyana and he viewed himself as British citizen, not as a black British citizen in a British colony. And though highly qualified, he leaves for no job. This heightens Braithwaite's sense of betrayal for the British. As a result of such experiences, Braithwaite finds the students at the Greenslade School to be a bit notorious and rough in behavior, but with proper care and treatment, all the students usually achieved success and desired goals in their lives. So, this is about the theme of the novel. Thus, we learned both positive and negative aspects of incidents of narrator's life or incidents in narrator's life in short. And in the second part of the video, we are going to get more information about synopsis of the novel and chapter-wise summary through the second part. Hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you.